Andy Johnson, Minnesota State University, looking at interventions for reading fluency. An intervention, the design should be based on data. You should know the strengths or deficits of students in each area. Standardized tests are great to use for assessment as long as you include some form of a direct assessment. In formal reading inventory, assessment or miscue analysis are all good types of direct assessment. Remember, there are three deficit areas: word identification, fluency, and comprehension. You should have data so we know strengths and weaknesses. This intervention focuses specifically on fluency. Now, traditional reading interventions focus mostly on word identification, and word identification strategies focus mostly on phonics. A comprehensive reading intervention focuses on one or all specific deficit areas: word identification, fluency, and or comprehension. As well, it attends to all 10 essential elements. Thus, while we're focusing on fluency here, we do not ignore the other 10. The focus is on fluency. And again, address the 10 essential elements for reading instruction, but special emphasis on reading fluency. We should not ignore the other 10. Again, I'm hitting you over the head with it, but the focus is on fluency, not comprehension and word identification here. It's not that these are not important. Rather, there are other places to focus on these. So we are assuming that fluency has been identified as a deficit area. This focus is on fluency. Remember, on an intervention plan or an IEP, you want to create a separate goal for each of these, depending on the data. We need to know if these are strengths or deficit areas. If the deficit area is comprehension and not these, there's no reason to attend to these. This intervention focuses specifically on fluency. You want to start with a words per minute rate for the student. We should know the reading grade level and the words per minute at that reading grade level. This gives us a benchmark. Then you need to set an appropriate and attainable goal and benchmarks. For example, here is a reading fluency goal. Pat will read 60 words per minute. Benchmarks, baby steps up to that, and how we measure progress. Wilson graded reading passages consisting of 200 to 300 words. Simple, simple, simple. Keep it simple and focused. This is a fluency intervention. You should have fluency goals, fluency strategies, fluency benchmarks, and fluency measurements. Some strategies to develop reading fluencies. These are just some, and we're focusing on repeated reading strategies. And this improves students' ability to recognize words and process letter patterns by using reoccurring practice of the same text. Now, it comes in a variety of forms. I'm going to show you just a few. The individual words per minute. Give the student a graded text at his or her instructional level. On command, students read for 1 minute. You can do this individually or in large group. The goal is to read as many words as possible. Don't worry about miscues or comprehension here. There are other places to focus on this. We are focusing on improving the ability to process text. It's a positive way, this strategy, to see growth. Every day you do this, it takes between 5 and 8 minutes, and they can see their times getting better after every attempt and every day. And I like students to keep track of their own daily fluency scores. And again, they can see their growth and progress. A lot of simple ways. Now, words correct per minute, WCPM, can be used to document process. I don't recommend this, but I know some people have a hard time giving up that identifying words correctly. Definitely for daily fluency, I do not recommend this, but some people want to use that to document progress. Go ahead. 30 words, fluency 40, 50. Sometimes students at the emergent and beginning levels get overwhelmed by reading for 1 minute. Thus, Break a story into 30, 40, or 50 word segments. This is much easier for emergent and beginning level readers. They read the segment through 3 times. Each read should take students less than 30 minutes. Move up when they are able to read 12 seconds or less consistently. And again, each day they see their times getting better. 1, 2 at each attempt, 1, 2, and 3. Reread to meet goals. Start by finding approximate words per minute at the independent reading level. Set a goal just slightly ahead and record the number of attempts it gets to reach that goal. Do not frustrate. Keep it proximal. This one really works good. Find a 25 to 40 word sample of text at their instructional level. Photocopy the text for students and auto record the student as he or she reads the selection. The student replays and analyzes his or her own reading, looking for miscues or stumbles, and they circle the problems. They simply reread then until fluency is achieved. Reread, replay, analyze. These are just some ideas for fluency. This has been a focus on a fluency intervention.